But I know people because I'm a guy that likes to try to dissect what I'm looking at. Like what they do to make that. That's
Right.
me. You know what I mean? When I
Right.
see something crazy, I'm like, that looks different. Like what is in that? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's me, and I'm like, oh, they probably put a Pekingese in that, or that's a bulldog in there. I can see the Borbal in it. I could, you know what I mean? I could see. That's me. Because I always said people hang papers, man. I know what it is. I've been in the game a long
For
time.
sure.
Things don't just change.
Right.
You can't just put two of the same looking dogs together and get totally different. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm okay with it. To me, that part of the game was necessary to achieve goals and visions. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's how all dogs are made, anyways. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm not saying that if you're gonna do it the right way. You know what I mean? But uh, I've seen plenty of kennels where they just change their look automatically. Like I'm not gonna say no names, but there's kennels out there that I didn't like none of their stuff. They were just pretty dogs, and then all of a
They,
sudden, boom! I'm like, where'd that come from? Oh
that
damn, here's another one. Like you ain't even showed me two dogs I would have bought in 10 years. You know what I mean?
right.
Now you got bone, you got chest, you got rear, you
Right.
got blockheads. Okay, I don't know what you did, but I like it. You know what I mean? Then you hear from the higher ups what down.
Right.
What like I see it.
Right.
Makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Good job. You know what I mean? That's me. I ain't a hater. Good job. You know what I mean? Like you made something you turned up. You know what I mean? You elevated your program. You know what I mean? In doing it, they fixed the specific person. They fixed issues that they had. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rears. You know what I mean? Weak rears, stuff like
Right.
that. You know what I mean? Like they did it when they mixed it. They fixed it. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna do it with a purpose. You know.
Yeah, don't just
And I'm
be.
I'm I- I'm I'm an OG in the game, so it's like I don't care what nobody thinks. If it's a you can feel how you want to feel about me.
Right.
you know,
Right.
if you achieved a better product in the end, that was success. You know what I mean? That's part of having a vision. You know,
Right. As long as the dog's still in good health
exactly.
and you pushing the breed forward and it's a better looking dog
Hmm.
than what it was before.
Exactly. Yep. I'm not saying you always. There's a lot of nice dogs out here. You don't need to do that. There's a lot of nice dogs out here. You guys got to get to them, and um, and sometimes, man, go see the dogs too before you use them. Go
That
see them dogs.
that's a it's two questions I was gonna ask you anyway. What you just said is it's enough dogs already in the gene pool right
Hmm.
now, whereas you would think that you don't have to go out
Yeah.
and add a
Yeah.
whatever dog, a Borbal or a
Yeah.
Bulldog or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
to the dogs. It's enough dogs where you could just go out and seek these dogs and breed to
Hmm.
these dogs and bring that into your
Yeah.
program.
I say every once in a while you might find a dog at another breed. You're like, whoa, that could really enhance what's going on over here. I mean,
Right.
they're American bullies. They're made up of a lot of things. You know, that's how I feel. I'm not condoning it. I'm not telling people to go out there and start hanging papers and stuff like that. Because people are going to do it and they'll mess up doing it anyways. You know what I mean? Like they'll do the wrong thing. But uh, I've watched these dogs evolve from one thing to a whole nother thing. You know what I mean? You know, some people just are scared to say it. You know what I mean? They're scared to admit it. You know what I mean? They're just I don't know how you you turn black into white. You know what I mean?
That's
Without doing something to do it. You know what I mean?
I spoke about that briefly with another guy on the show. That it's a big like taboo thing, man, in the American bully where people just don't like to talk about that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's common sense and it's in your face, like you
yeah,
said. Like you've been around so long, you could tell what the dogs was going back from maybe like edge dogs,
yeah, yeah,
guiding
yeah.
dogs, and the things like that to where the dogs at today. Even like the from the pocket class up to the XL
Mm-hmm.
class.
Yeah,
None
yeah.
of these dogs
I mean,
look nothing like.
I have a dog, Haggard, the HBK Haggard. So he was like part of the first wave of bully Merles. He's 5 years old. He'll be six, I think. Six this year, I think. Um, and prior to that, the Merles were thin bone, little heads. You know, they lacked all the substance. They didn't have no substance. They were just colorful.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I didn't like them. Like I was breeding red lion, and I was just breeding red lion dogs, Camelot red lion. I like bully, you know, muscled up dogs, big
Right.
blockheads, stuff like that. You know, and I just wasn't getting. I didn't see no merles that were just like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? I'd use that. They were just colorful. You know, again, structure. You know, so then Haggard, he was in like the wave of like Morpheus, it's a dog on the West Coast, Omega, and there was another dog on the East Coast, can't remember his name. But they're all out of the same bloodline. The Odd Job and Lilo. So Odd Job was said to be a mix also, and Lilo is a bulldog, right? So it's in the pedigree. It says Odd Job Lilo.
Right.
Lilo is an oldie bulldog. So when I went to buy Haggard, I paid $25,000 for him. I said, "Show me where his papers are hung," because I'm looking at the papers. I'm looking at the papers. I already had looked at. I inquired to use Morpheus before, and when they showed me his papers, I'm like, "That dog's been dead like 15 years, 10 years. That's in the pedigree." You know, like, yeah, okay. I'm a realist. I don't care though. You know what I'm saying? Like I talked to so it's a funny story. I talked to Kenny Sanya one day, and we're talking about Duke and a couple of the old Camelot dogs, and who created Duke? I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but the guy that created the Duke, Kenny goes, "What's in them?" And the guy goes, "They were sitting." He said he was sitting in his kitchen. And he said, "You like them?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Then don't worry about it." You know what I mean? You like it?